Okay, we're gonna do predictions for Playdate number 6. Spoiler warning, if you didn't watch Playdate number 5 because it wasn't broadcasted, I don't think they've posted those matches yet. We do know the results if you've been looking for them, so some people might know them, some people might not, and if you don't know them and you don't want to know them, I guess I advise you to tune out. I imagine I'll be referencing them throughout this video. And I guess we're gonna look at this really quickly first. This won't be relevant after today, so I don't think I'll have a chance to look at it in another video. This isn't necessarily the best video to look at it in, but I think this is the only chance I'm gonna get. So our Spra Bunny posted this, so I mean credit to him, and it's the percentage chances of any given NA team making it to the upcoming major. So it's just cool to look at. And so basically at this point, and I guess I'll tell you, Oxygen lost to Space Station, Astralis beat Parabellum, Xset beat Beast Coast, Dark Zero beat TSM, and Sonics beat Mirage. So those are all of those matches from Playdate number 5, and maybe I'll reference the scores later. Okay, so, and this is of course if they get a regulation win, overtime loss, regulation loss. So this is if they get 3 points, 2 points, 1 point, 0 points after the 6th Playday. So it's exceedingly likely, regardless of what happens or whatever happens in this next Playday, that Astralis, Oxygen, and Space Station will make it. Even if they lose, they still have really good odds. And then the last spot likely will be Xset or Dark Zero, but you know, things could be shifted up. It could be Beast Coast or maybe even Parabellum. It technically could be TSM, Mirage, or Sonics taking one of these spots. I imagine they can probably only take the fourth place. Maybe they can make it up to 3rd or 2nd or whatever, but I didn't actually run the numbers on that. But at less than 10%, even with wins, it just seems very, very unlikely these teams will be making it. And then even Parabellum's not very likely, so probably Xset or Dark Zero, and then maybe Beast Coast. And okay, let's go over to the actual predictions now. Okay, so Playday number 6, that is going to be this column, and I guess I'll address again what happened in Playday 5. So, I mean, if you're somehow here and you didn't get spoiled already, which I don't think is possible, but you know, you will be spoiled once again. So, okay, so matches for day 5, Xset over Beast Coast. I believe that was a 7-3. Dark Zero over TSM was a 7-4. I got this first match wrong, and then I got the middle 3 right. I got the bottom 1 wrong. Okay, so again, Dark Zero, 7-4 over TSM. Sonic, 7-2 over Mirage. Astralis, I think it was 7-3 over Parabellum. And Space Station upsetting Oxygen, 7-5. So I went with my heart on Beast Coast versus Xset against my better judgment, and I got it wrong. And I did not go with my heart in Space Station versus Oxygen, so I got it wrong. So unfortunately, I could have got 5 out of 5 if I had done the other order, if I'd gone with the team that I wanted to win here, and then the team that I thought would win here. Anyways, okay. But I did get the middle 3 right, so 3 out of 5. Not too bad. I did think it was a tricky day, but in hindsight, no, the results all pretty well make sense. Again, the Oxygen over Space Station is a little bit strange, but I didn't think that Oxygen was massively favored. If anybody was going to beat them, I thought it was going to be Space Station. Oh, okay, so going into Playday number 6, I think maybe if the results of Playday number 5 had been different in some different sorts of ways, these could be harder to call, but they feel easy to call. Maybe there will be some upsets, but okay, Xset versus Mirage. Mirage currently just look like the worst team. If there was any sort of debate between Sonics and them, it's now clear that it is Mirage. They do have the win over TSM, but they just lost to Sonics, who everyone else had beat up on. Maybe Sonics have just finally woken up, and maybe they're going to, I mean, beat several of their upcoming opponents, but you know, they were struggling super hard against the, in theory, not as good teams before. So Mirage taking that 7-2 loss to them is pretty devastating. Xset continues to be on a tear. They've only lost, I think, 4 rounds in the last 3 Playdays, so they're still super hot. I guess slightly less hot, losing 3 rounds in 1 Playday, whereas they only lost 1 round last week. But yeah, they look very, very good, and maybe they can be beaten by whoever else they play, Dark Zero or Astralis or Oxygen. These are tough teams, but against Mirage, I think it's very, very, very Xset sided here, so I'm going to go with Xset, of course, there. Oxygen versus Parabellum. Both of these teams just took a loss, and Oxygen's game was closer against Space Station, and I suppose they were also playing, in theory, maybe a harder opponent. I guess Parabellum played against Astralis, which was tied with Space Station on points, and they still are after the win. And I even had Astralis higher in the power rankings, and that was, I don't know, it's unclear. They were really close. Maybe Space Station deserved to be higher in the last power rankings. We'll see where they are in the next power ranking after this Playday. But I guess, you know, similar quality opponents at this point, but Parabellum took the worst loss. Oxygen has been much better. I still imagine it's going to be an Oxygen victory. Whenever I talk about these games, of course, I know the results, but I haven't seen the game, so maybe there's some contingency there. I don't know. I think the scorelines tell enough of a picture. Of course, we didn't see any overtime once again, as is the NAL way. And I guess, well, what, in day 4 we saw 2 overtimes, which is surprising. We never get 2 overtimes. Okay, so yeah, Oxygen over Parabellum. You know, maybe Parabellum can squeak out a win. Maybe Oxygen will be reeling from their first loss or something, but this just seems like an Oxygen victory through and through. So I'm gonna go with them. Space Station versus Beast Coast. You know, maybe Beast Coast can pull out an upset. They seem like one of the teams that is able to pull out an upset based on the way they play and whatnot, but Space Station's been really good, and Beast Coast, you know, they're sort of middling. Again, they got some wins, they got some losses. They just took that loss to Xset, and I mean, I think pretty well every reason to think Space Station is going to beat them, but you know, I think Beast Coast could surprise, but still, I'm going to go with Space Station, of course, here. TSM versus Astralis. This also feels pretty easy to call. Just looking at the orgs, if you hadn't seen the season, you'd probably be going with TSM. But I mean, Astralis has been doing really well this season, and TSM's been doing really poorly, as you saw at the beginning of the video. Very unlikely for them to go to the major, and if Astralis can pull out a victory here, then it's exceedingly likely that they will be going to the major. Yeah, just Astralis has been good. TSM's been bad this stage. Nothing more to it, really. No reason to believe that TSM will bounce back in this particular match. Maybe they still will at some point, but they pretty well need to do it to have any hope of going to the major. So, but I still think Astralis will take this one. So Astralis prediction there. And then Sonics versus Dark Zero. This feels like the only tough one to call. Of course, Dark Zero is way higher than Sonics on the leaderboard. And this is actually, I guess, a rematch of the NAL finals from last year, right? Sonics beat Oxygen and Dark Zero beat Space Station in the semis, and then in the finals these two played each other. These two teams, I think they've gone back and forth. Maybe Sonics have the winning record. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure Dark Zero beat them in stage 2, but I'm not 100% sure about the other ones. But again, that was a while ago, and that was a sort of different format. Sonics, if they play like they played against Mirage, and I don't actually know how well they played against Mirage. It was a 7-2, but again, I didn't see the game. And Dark Zero's been pretty good. I guess I'll go with Dark. Well, I want to go with Sonics here. I feel like they're on the bounce back. Dark Zero, you know, they took the. Let's look at their previous matches. They took the TSM win. They lost to Astralis, but that was in overtime. They lost to Parabellum, not so great. They went to all 15 rounds against Beast Coast, also not so great. And they took a good win against Mirage, but they didn't beat Mirage even as well as Sonics did. Mirage took one more round against Dark Zero. So, of course, Dark Zero being way higher on the leaderboards and whatnot than Sonics, because Sonics have been awful at this stage up until that last day. It feels easy to pick Dark Zero. And if I watched the match, if I had watched Sonics versus Mirage already, and Sonics just looked incredible, and it wasn't like Mirage slipping up or whatever, then I think I would want to go with Sonics. I saw a couple of tweets indicating that several of the Mirage players sort of felt like they were just messing up, and so that makes it sound like maybe Sonics didn't even have to play that well to beat Mirage. Maybe they did play well, but maybe they didn't even have to. You know, Dark Zero has shown weakness, and Sonics is on the bounce back. I think it might be a little bit controversial or an upset or whatever, but I guess I'm gonna go Sonics because, I mean, I want them to win, I suppose, but nothing more to say about it. And I guess if Xset, or rather if Dark Zero loses, it makes Xset more likely to go to the major, and that's something that would be cool to see, because if it's Astralis, Oxygen, and Space Station, and then one other team, and the other team is probably Dark Zero or Xset, I'd rather it be Xset because they haven't gone to a major before. I think it'd just be cool, rather than seeing just one new team at the major, which would be, I guess, Astralis over TSM. It'd be cool to also see Xset over Dark Zero at the major. So I'll go with Sonics, and it's not like my prediction affects things or whatever, but I want to be rooting for them, and this makes it easier to root for them. So I do think this is the game of the day. It looks like the hardest to call, and just perhaps the most exciting, and this and that and whatever. Okay, so those are my predictions. One more time: Xset over Mirage, Oxygen over Parabellum, Space Station over Beast Coast, Astralis over TSM, and Sonics over Dark Zero. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's gonna do it for this video. I don't know when I'll have the recap for Playday number 5. Maybe it'll be soon if they actually upload the VOD soon, but I guess technically I could just go over the scores and stuff. It might be a little bit late. I might have Playday 6 out before Playday 5, assuming Playday 6 goes off without a hitch. Hopefully there's nothing weird today. Okay. All right. With all of that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.